Hello, everyone, and welcome to ALETS. My name is Dan, and I'm so glad you're here. This isn't your typical English lesson. This is a place for us to talk about real life and to learn real English while we do it. Today, I want to talk about a feeling we all know. It's that strange feeling when you feel stuck. You know, when life is moving forward, but you feel like you're standing still. Maybe you feel a bit lost or like you're not on the right path. It can be a very uncomfortable feeling. And if that's where you are right now, I want you to know something. This feeling is normal. It's part of our journey. We're not here to give you all the answers, but to share some ideas. And while we talk, you will learn new English words and expressions. I will use simple language and explain new words so you can easily understand. So, let's start. Let's talk about what happens when you feel a little lost and how to find your way again. You know, I remember this feeling very clearly. It wasn't something dramatic. My life looked fine from the outside. I had a good job, I worked regular hours, and my team was friendly. But one morning, a few years ago, I was sitting in my car before work. I couldn't move. I stared at the steering wheel and thought, is this it? Is this what my life will be for the next 10 years? That thought really hit me like a wave. It was a sudden, strong feeling that something was wrong. I felt like I was living on autopilot. You know what that means, right? It's like a plane that FLIs by itself. I was doing all the right things, but I wasn't thinking. I was just going through the motions. My body was at work, but my heart was somewhere else. I felt like I was walking through a huge maze. Every turn I took just brought more confusion. I kept asking myself, am I doing the right thing? It felt like everyone else had a map, and I had nothing. That feeling of being stuck. It's a sign. It's a wake-up call. It's telling you that something needs to change. That moment in my car, it was painful, but it was also powerful. It was the beginning of clarity. It was the start of something new. It's when you say, wait, what am I doing? That's the moment your journey to find your way begins. So, what leads us to feel this way in the first place? It's not always bad choices. It's often because we are listening to too many voices. Everyone's voice except our own. Think about it. We hear from our parents, our teachers, our friends, even people online. Everyone has an opinion about what you should do. Study this. Work here. Speak like this. Over time, you stop hearing your own voice. You start living by someone else's expectations. It's like you have a small compass inside you. Your heart, your instincts. But if that compass is just a little off course, just by a few degrees, you end up miles away from where you were meant to go. You follow the safe path, the one that looks good, but it doesn't feel good. I experienced this in college. I chose a major that sounded impressive, not one that I actually liked. Years later, I had the degree, but I had no passion. Just a lot of confusion. That's why it's so important to check in with your inner compass. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I think I'm supposed to? There's a big difference. But once you hear your own voice again, there's something else waiting for you. Something most of us try to avoid. Uncertainty. We all want plans. We want answers. We want control. So when we don't know what's next, we panic. But here's a secret. Uncertainty can be a gift. It gives us space. Space to think, to explore, to rediscover what really matters. I remember when I decided to leave my job. I had no plan B. Just this strong feeling that it wasn't the right place for me anymore. People thought I was crazy, and to be honest, I thought I was crazy too. But the months after I quit were full of growth. I rested, I learned new things. Slowly, I found a new direction. When things are uncertain, you become curious again. You try new things. You listen more. It's scary, yes, but it's also where the magic happens. It's the space between the old and the new. So, if you're feeling unsure right now, it's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. Just stay open and trust that something new is unfolding, even if you can't see it yet. That's a good place to start. So, once you've taken a deep breath and accepted that it's okay to not know everything, the next step is to look inward. Don't look at your to-do list. Don't look at what others expect from you. Look at what really matters to you. This is where your values come in. And I don't mean big, complicated ideas. I mean simple truths. Ask yourself, what 3 things do I deeply care about in life? Maybe it's family. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's learning something new, or kindness, or being healthy. If you are feeling lost, it's often because you have been walking away from these values without realizing it. I felt this myself. There was a time when I was so busy trying to be productive that I completely stopped doing things that made me feel alive. Things like writing in my journal or talking with my close friends. When I looked back, I realized I had drifted away from what made me, well, me. When you reconnect with those values, things begin to shift. You may still feel unsure, but now at least you are moving in a direction that feels true to your heart. And once you know what matters to you, it's time to do something small. Really small. Because big change doesn't happen all at once. One thing that really helped me was setting tiny goals. Like, really tiny. On some days, I didn't feel like doing anything. So I told myself, just write 1 sentence today, or just take a 10-minute walk. That's it. I once set a goal to just get out of bed and drink water. And I'm not joking. But you know what? That one small action gave me a sense of progress. And progress, no matter how small, builds confidence. It builds momentum. We often think change has to be a huge breakthrough, but honestly, it's the small wins that move us forward, step by step, day by day. Even something as simple as saying 1 sentence in English out loud each morning can shift your energy. So if you're feeling stuck, don't wait for a huge change. Start with 1 small, easy win today and let it build from there. And hey, even when you're doing your best, some days are still tough. That's why having people around you really matters. When I felt lost, one of the best things I did was talk to a friend. Just 1 honest conversation. I told him how I was feeling, even though I felt awkward and unsure. And you know what? He didn't try to fix me. He just listened. And that alone made me feel seen. Sometimes, just knowing that someone understands you, that someone is there, even silently, it makes a huge difference. Whether it's a friend, a teacher, a mentor, or even an online community, having someone to check in with can give you strength. It's not about being perfect. It's about being supported. When you share your journey with someone, you also feel more accountable. You start showing up not just for yourself, but because someone out there believes in you. So, if you're feeling alone, reach out. You're not weak for needing support. You're strong for taking that step. Even the small steps count. And once you've taken a step, even if it's small, it deserves a little celebration. We often wait to feel proud until we have reached some big goal. But what about the tiny victories? The quiet moments where you kept going even when it was hard. We remember our mistakes so clearly, right? But the good moments, the brave choices, we forget them. Even something like getting out of bed when you didn't want to, or finally starting that journal, or asking someone for advice. That's a milestone, too. I started writing a little lost and found journal last year. Nothing fancy, just quick notes. On one side, I wrote down moments when I felt stuck or confused. And on the other side, I wrote what I learned or found during that time. And wow, looking back, I realized I wasn't as lost as I thought. I was just growing. Because even when life feels like a mess, it's still your journey. The detours, the wrong turns, they teach you something. They make you wiser, more human. So maybe today, just take a second to look at your own story. Think about a moment you felt lost and ask yourself, what did I find there? Maybe you found patience. Maybe you found a friend. Or maybe you found the courage to begin again. And that's worth celebrating. Not with fireworks, just with kindness. A small smile, a deep breath, a reminder that you're still on your way. And that's enough. So, I hope you found something meaningful in today's talk, maybe a new idea or a new way to see things. And I also hope you feel that you are not alone. If you're listening right now and feeling a bit lost, remember that it's okay. It's part of the journey. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep being kind to yourself. Thank you for listening. Your progress doesn't end here. We'll see you next time on LETS. Until then, keep taking small steps. Bye for now.